Good morning, everybody. Today I am going to talk about Ming Dynasty's art, and then I am going to talk about Qing Dynasty art. I already made the recording for historical backgrounds of these two periods. So you are looking at the first slide of Ming Dynasty. In this section, I have 8 slides. As you come to early modern period, studying for Chinese art becomes a little bit easier because we have many artists that are known in historical records along with the surviving artworks. So Ming, the Chinese character of Ming means bright. And Zhu and Zhang, the farmers leader in the rebellious group, he became the emperor, and then eventually he moved the capital from Nanjing to Beijing, right? So in art, we are going to focus on 2 groups. In Ming Dynasty, because the emperors established Confucianism-based government, they will have Imperial Academy, or it's called the Hanlin Fine Arts Academy. So that is an agency in the government, and they are going to hire professional artists. Professional artists are craftsmen, painters, scribes, and court painters, and they will work a lot of official commissions in order to decorate the palaces or in order to record important court events. And in the south, so usually professional artists will live in the court, which is based in Beijing, right? But a lot of other artists, they are often called literati artists or amateur artists. They will live in the south near Suzhou. Remember the garden that I was showing you? Like they will live near Suzhou, not very far from Hangzhou, near Shanghai. We are going to focus on literary artists in this section as well. If you remember Ni Zhan of Yuan Dynasty, he was also part of this category of literary artists. So in Chinese art, after Ming Dynasty, you are going to see more and more focus and critical acclaims will be placed on literary artists. And the person who wrote a book about literary artists is also Dong Chi-chang, who lived toward the end of Yuan Dynasty. Remember Dong Chi-chang? He was an important art critic. Himself was a painter as well. And he is from Yuan Dynasty. But his theory will carry still values in the Ming Dynasty. So there are 4 great masters of the Ming. Remember, we had the 4 great masters of Yuan Dynasty. So just like those 4 great masters of Yuan, art critics came up with 4 names. And they were mainly living in Suzhou area, right, city near Yangtze Delta region. And they are not professional painters. They were literati painters. They are not court painters, not professional painters. They are literati painters. So the first person is Zhou. He is the oldest among 4. He was a teacher to Wang Zhengming, and then he was also teacher to Tang Yin. Wang Zhengmin and Tang Yin, you can see that they are same age, right? So these 3 are working in the same period. And then if you go toward the end of Ming Dynasty, you are going to see Chu Ying. He was the youngest among the 4, but he was also the least fortunate. He was not successful in his governmental aspiration or ambitions. So here what I'm saying is he's not a professional painter, but his livelihood or his work or his career was very similar to that of a professional painter. The first 3 of them, they didn't really have to sell or trade their paintings. They are well-to-do, their families are sort of wealthy. They are landowners, and they also had a government position at some point. So for them, they always say that painting is my hobby. But you will see that they are way more serious than just a person with a hobby. But anyhow, that's what they are saying. But Ming, his family became dilapidated or they lost the power. So Ming, in the end, have to maintain his living by actively training his painting. So in that way, he looks like a professional painter's career, but he is not one of them. He still claimed that he's a literate painter. So this idea of not trading painting for monetary transaction or material reward was very lofty and ideal goal for among literary painters. And also there was a big distinction between them and professional painters. So Shenzhou was a poet, accomplished calligrapher. This is Shenzhou's calligraphy, very nice calligraphic scripts. And he was also a scholar and quite good painter. This is a painting called The Poet on a Cliff Top, and it is one of the album. How do you know it's an album? You can see the folding sign of the paper. So this paper, like you can close it right in the middle, and then the next page, if you open the leaf, then again you are going to see a full page stretch of a painting of another subject matter. So this is about his journey to a high cliff in the middle of the mountain, and it is really high above anything else, because do you see the cloud underneath? So he is actually standing above the cloud. So the poem over here, what he's saying is, this is his name, Shenzhou. This is his name. So what does it say? White clouds encircle the mountain waste like a sash, like a ribbon, right? Swirling cloud. Stone steps mount high into the void where the narrow path leads forth. Alone, leaning on my rustic staff, I gave idly into the distance. My longing for the notes of a flute is answered in the murmurings of the gorge. So how did he go up there? We probably walked up the stone steps, narrow path, many miles away, and he eventually arrived at the destination. And then, do you see the staff? Yes, indeed. He was carrying his staff, right? And then when he stood up there, thinking, he thought, oh, I should have brought my flute so I can compose a music right here, right? Beautiful scenery. So you can hear like a whirling sound of the wind in this gorge. So how poetic this is, right?